Okay, so to begin, I always start the practice with a meditation so we can come down into the body and ground. And I always give the option to be seated. And if you are going to stay seated, I would recommend that your hips are above your knees. You can sit on something, get a cushion, fold it up, put it between your shins, so your bum sat on it. Or a lot of my students like to come down into constructive rest. So constructive rest is where the whole of your back body is spread evenly on the ground, apart from your legs. So the back of the pelvis is spread, but then the legs are bent and the feet are placed on the ground, flat to the earth, parallel to one another, so that your thigh bones can be at ease. I'm going to guide us from here because it's feeling really good. Also know what's really nice in this pose is to get a blanket or a scarf and place it across your legs just for a little bit extra weight and to cover the tops of your hips. And then your arms can be wide with the palms facing up, and then perhaps just pushing into the back of your head to allow your chest to rise up on the inhale, away from the earth. Nestle your shoulders down onto your back and then place both shoulders back down softly, gently. And then perhaps feeling the back of your neck lengthen as your chin slightly tucks in. I'm struggling to find words tonight. It's evening here, by the way. So the shoulders are both spreading evenly. And if you still feel a little bit of tension around both or either one of your shoulders, on the next inhale, take your breath into that spot where you feel the tightness, the raising away from the earth perhaps. And on the exhale, really allow the bone of the shoulder girdle to drop back and down. Perhaps it's both shoulders dropping back and down. Coming down to the back of the pelvis. And perhaps just have a little bit of a cradle. And it's microscopic, it's more of an energetic tone of cradling, perhaps thinking about the sacrum, the bone in the middle, the joint in the middle of the two pelvic halves. Just holding them together as completing the two hemispheres. And just rocking from side to side. It's a soft landing and arrival. And then finding a place of stillness here. Perhaps feeling a little bit of warmth being generated around the tops of the thighs. Maybe they enjoyed the rocking of the pelvis. Maybe it's the heavy thigh bones resting down into your hip sockets. Enjoy that slight bit of movement to start to get the fluids moving so they can be sat bathing in the synovial fluid. And then the lower legs. They're effortless, going down from your knees, placed against one another. Perhaps lifting the balls of the feet up away from the ground and placing them back down, spreading your toes. Imagining there's two warm, loving hands placed on the tops of your feet. Perhaps starting to feel the cells, the tissue along the bottom of the feet. Perhaps feeling a little bit of sensation here. I'm starting to think about reflexology and hands on my feet. And let's come to a welcoming practice. So I'd like you to imagine a person, someone you love, an animal, a pet, someone that you haven't seen in a while. And that when you walk in, they're so happy to see you. They're so excited. That makes you feel so joyous to be welcomed, made to feel welcome. So I'd like you to bring that feeling into your body as you gather yourself up and welcome yourself here to this space, to this practice now together. Knowing that each moment you can begin again. Each breath is a new breath. Might be one emotional state, might be a fraught state. Maybe that lasts for half an hour, half a day, a week. But knowing that there will be a beginning, there'll be a start again. And you can always welcome yourself with your breath, with the new inhale. And let's begin to rest the mind on the breath. I invite you to bring both your hands to your lower belly. And really allow your lower belly to be soft. Exhale all your air out. Allow the belly to sink down towards the ground. On your next inhale, feel the belly expand and fill, and rise into your warm hands. And on the exhale, the belly starts to release and soften and make its way back down towards the spine. Inhale, the belly fills into your warm hands, creating space around the organs. And then the exhale is the softest release you can manage. Allow the shoulders to soften down as you empty your belly. Let's take one more breath like this together. On the inhale, the belly expands into your hands. And the exhale to release and to soften all of the air out. And then just come to a natural, organic breath, however it's coming in, through the nose, through the mouth. And if you have a blanket or a scarf over your legs or over your belly, if you would just like to take that off to one side. We're going to bring the right knee in towards the chest, or the side of the chest, towards the right armpit. And the right hand will go on top of the right shin. And then the left leg will start, the heel will start to slide along the ground, extend and away towards the bottom of the mat. And then the left hand can be placed on top of the right hand. Maybe as you interlace your fingers, maybe not. See what feels best. Maybe it's just holding either side. So the left heel's extending towards the bottom of the mat. The toes are pointing up towards the ceiling. And on the inhale, you're going to go back to that expansion of the lower belly breath. Inhaling. Feeling the belly press against the thigh and the left heel extend away. And on the exhale, pulling the thigh down towards the side of the body. Feeling the front of the left hip open. The left shoulder softens down. Inhale, your body expands with your breath, your lower belly, your ribs, tops of the lungs. Left heel away, toes flexing, and then exhale, allowing the weight of the thigh to come down a bit more towards the ground. One more breath like this. Inhale, expands your lower belly. Left heel extends, your chest fills. And then the exhale, releasing, emptying all of the air out. The left foot comes to the ground, the right foot goes towards the ceiling. It's like you're pressing your footprint onto the ceiling. And then the hands can hold either side, the back of that right thigh, or interlace them around the back. Inhale, extend that heel up and away, toes flexing back towards the face. Exhale, releases the knee down, the shoulders soften down, the whole of the back body's been received by the ground. Inhaling, the belly fills, the chest fills, and then the right heel's extending up towards the ceiling, pushing the thigh into the hands. Exhale, release all that effort. Jaw softens, shoulders soften. Inhale, find that length and opening through the back of your right leg as the heel extends up, toes flex back towards the face. And then exhale, softening down and releasing. And then that foot stays down, and take that right ankle on top of the left knee. The right toes are flexing back towards the right knee and taking the left foot off the ground. The hands can be interlaced to hold on either side, the back of that left hamstring. Okay, so just taking a moment to allow the right hip a little bit of space. It gets tight in there before we start doing the work. So find the length in the back of your neck. Encourage both shoulders down. Okay, so on the inhale, we're going to gather the thigh in the hands and start to pull it towards the face and push the thigh in the hands. And then the right knee towards the bottom of the mat. And then exhale. It's like you're tilting on the back of your pelvis, tailbone towards the ground. Inhale, it's a gathering in. Push the thigh in the hands. And then the exhale, the right knee goes towards the bottom of the mat. Bit of a release. It's almost like a bit of a pulse. Inhale, gathering in. And then an exhale, release. All of the air out. One more. And inhale, expands your belly, your ribs and your chest. Thigh pressing into your hands, and then exhale and washing your breath around your right hip, Bring your right foot down to the ground. Bring your left foot down to the ground. And we'll come to the second side. The left leg will go up. It's like the footprints on the ceiling. Taking your hands to the back of that hamstring, either just holding or interlace. Exhale, the knee completely softens, the shoulders soften down, length comes naturally to the back of the neck. Inhale, you find extension and length through the heel, stretching up to the ceiling, the toes back towards the face, and then the exhale, soften the knee. Inhale, push the thigh into the hands, extend the heel up and away. And then exhale, release. 2 more. Inhale. From your left sitting bone all the way up the back of the leg, all the way at the heel, toes flexing back. Exhale, release. 1 more. Inhale, extending up. And then exhale, release and down. Both feet come down. Allow the knees to rest on each other. The hands can come to the lower belly, the shoulders soften. Take a moment in constructive rest. Just to notice the difference. And how the body feels now from the start of practice. And then we'll come and lay on one side in the fetal position before we come to all fours. So using your arm as a pillow. Take a big breath in. And expand. And exhale from your lips as your nose. Release down. To the lips that comes back to breath. And your top hand, place it on the ground. Spread the palms, spread the fingers. And slowly start to move your weight into that hand to bring your body up. And we're going to come into all fours. So placing your hands directly underneath your shoulders, your knees underneath your hips. If you'd like to open up the back of the feet, you'd curl on the balls of your feet. Or if you're not so fussed, your tops of your feet can be down. You choose. And let's find a neutral spine. So the shoulders are coming away from the ears. And take an inhale and allow the belly to drop and really fill. And on the exhale, gather the belly back to the spine. Keep that. And allow the shoulders to come away from the ears. And the gaze is down in between your hands, just in front of your hands. Okay, so on the inhale, you may have been in cat and cow a million times before, but let's do this as we're welcoming. Imagine we're welcoming the spine, the breath, moving together for the first time. So from your tailbone, inhale, and the tailbone starts to go up. The lower back, the sacrum, just above the pelvis starts to arch down, the belly drops down. The top of the spine starts to move up, the shoulders move onto the back and the head comes up. The exhale, tailbone curls down, lower back follows suit, and the middle back starts to arch up. And then the head starts to get really heavy and the head is hanging, pushing down through your arms. And then the inhale, tailbone, belly, heart starts to come through the shoulders. You can bend your elbows a little bit if that feels nice. And then head forward. And then exhale, it's a rounding of your spine. You're welcome to move faster than me if this is too slow. Pushing down through your hands. One more. So tailbone starts to arch up. The lower belly starts to lower down. Middle belly. Navel lowers down. The heart starts to soften and move through the shoulders. And the head comes up. And the exhale rounds the spine. All the air out. And then we're in neutral once again. I'm just going to come into a couple of going backwards and forwards to child's pose from here. So perhaps come at the tops of the feet now. So inhaling, finding a cow. Exhale, take your bum back to your seat. Exhale, 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 head releases. The inhale, feel the lungs expanding and filling up on your back. Rounding your cat. Exhale, your heart softens through, the head comes up and your bum goes back. And then the inhale's rounding and rising up. Exhale, tailbone, lower belly, middle belly, navel, heart comes through, head comes up, bum goes back. Inhale rises you up. Exhale lowers your belly and your heart. Your bum goes back. Last one. Inhale, pulling yourself up and round. Then coming through to your cow, and then we'll meet back in tabletop. I'm going to just quickly take my socks off here. From here, the right foot will come through. And if you've got blocks, great, use your blocks. Otherwise, you're welcome to be on your fingertips as we're in a lunge. But don't be on the left, what knee, that's the left knee. Try to be more towards the bottom of the left thigh. It's a bit more comfortable. Also remember, you get your blanket, scarf, anything soft. So get something soft under that knee. Okay, and then we're going to take this right foot out to the side. So the heel can be on the mat, the ball of the foot can be off the mat. That's an option. If you've got blocks, or if your forearms can come down to the ground, or you can stay upright, arms extending. You can be on the top of the back foot. So we're in lizard pose here. And we're just going to stay here for about 5 breaths, not too long. So taking an inhale, feeling the weight pouring down through the front foot, the opening in the right thigh, and then feeling the head coming out of the spine, so it's not hanging. And breathing into the left front of the left hip. And exhale and releasing, perhaps find a little bit more space. Take a couple of more breaths here. Really enjoying the release. And if it becomes too deep or too much at any point, you can shorten your stance. You don't need to stay in something that's uncomfortable, or also come on your fingertips, gives a bit more space for the upper body. Okay, well done, guys. Okay, so we're going to come into half Hanumanasana from here. Ardha Hanumanasana. That's how you'd say it, I guess. So, if you've got blocks, great. I mean, I do have some here, but just not next to me, actually. I would be using blocks, but I just don't have them next to me at the moment. So I'm going to put my fingers on the ground. The right heel is digging down into the ground. I'm going to take an inhale. So let's all take an inhale together. Push down through that right heel. And then put your hand on your right hip crease and energetically pull that hip back and towards the centre. And then the exhale, it's a folding and releasing over that leg. Any amount. It's a real deep stretch. You don't need me to tell you that, you'll be able to feel it. So take an inhale, feeling that right heel, pressing down. The right hip travelling back in space and towards the centre of the mat as the heel's pressing down. And then the exhale, release that effort. One more breath here, inhaling. And then exhaling, releasing that effort. And then we'll come onto that front foot and allow the hips to be heavy again. And we're going to roll back and forth between those two poses that we've just done. But the foot can be more centered instead of being off to the side. So that the inhale can be coming forward. And then the exhale can be rolling back. Perhaps your bum comes back more towards your heel if that feels nice, or not. Inhaling forward. Allow your chest to rise, your head to rise. Exhaling, rolling back through the hips. Inhaling forward. Exhaling back. Just finding your own fluid movement here. Inhaling forward. Perhaps experimenting with your foot. Does it feel better more forward, better back? Does it feel nice not to take your bum so far back? Inhale forward, maybe your chest further up, and then exhaling back. So softly loosening up the hips. The body likes movement with the breath. And after this last one, we'll meet back in a lunge at the front there. The hands will come down, frame, foot, and the foot will go back. You're on all fours. The knees will be wide now. Good opportunity to put the blanket under both knees. The toes can touch at the back. Your bum can come back to your heels. And then you can make a pillow with your hands as you allow the back of the pelvis, the tailbone start to weight down towards your feet, towards the earth, really feeling that gravitational pull down. And then we'll come back to that soft, round belly breathing. So taking an inhale, feeling the belly expand onto the inner thighs. And on the exhale, feeling the release of the whole body, the whole structure of you getting heavier. Let's take another one of those breaths here. Inhale, expands, fills your soft round belly. And on the exhale, it softly empties. Shoulders soften. And we'll enjoy a few more breaths here together. And we'll move on to the second side. So your hands will come back, wrist creases parallel to the front. Come up to all fours. Bring the knees back under the hips. This time the left foot comes forward. We're coming to lizard on the left side. So the left heel can be on the mat and the ball of the foot can be off the mat. And if you have props, please use them. Or you can come down to your forearms if you have that space, or if that just feels too much for tonight, today, this morning, whatever time of day it is for you. Come up on to the top of the back foot. The right foot is flat. I can't speak now. The top of the right foot is flat to the ground. Okay. So for me, where my body's at the moment, I'm needing space between my torso and the ground. I feel my shoulders coming onto my back. I feel length in the back of my neck. I can feel on my exhale the hips getting heavier, sinking. And I'm at about 80% of edge of sensation here. So I've got 20% breathing room. See if you can stay where you are, where you've set yourself up to for the next 3 breaths. Inhale, washing up through your belly, the bottoms of the lungs, the mid lung, the top lung. Touches the crown of your head. And the exhales, release and emptying. Belly gently gathers back. Inhale from the lower belly, rising up, expanding the ribs, expanding the shoulders on the back. And the exhale, softening the bones, get heavier. Inhaling. And then exhaling, releasing. And then we'll find really slowly half Hanumanasana. I keep calling it that, Ardha Hanumanasana. So, this is my tougher leg. I still love you, left leg, but you are tougher. So if you've got blocks or anything to help support the top half of the body, I advise to use them. So inhale and pushing down through the left heel. Put your hand to the top hip, to your hip crease on the left leg. So inhale, push down through the left heel and encourage your left hip back towards the centre of the mat. And then exhale, fold the upper body down over towards that, your head towards the foot. Inhale, find some extension and length and push down through that left heel, pulling your foot back. And exhale, release. Inhaling. And then exhaling to release all of the air out. And one more, inhaling. And then exhaling and coming down onto that front foot. Sole is flat, both hands come to the inside as you slowly shimmy that foot back round. The knee comes round, we're on all fours. But we're going to keep coming down, we're going to come down to the belly. To Sphinx pose. So the elbows are under the shoulders, the palms are flat down on the ground. And it's like you're pulling yourself along the ground, tailbones anchoring down towards the feet. So it's a slight press of the pubic bone down into the ground, the tops of the feet, the elbows, the forearms are pulling back, shoulders come down at the back. If you need space in the back of your neck, take your gaze down. Take an inhale. On the exhale, Release, release, release. Almost feel like the pelvic bowl, all the points, the bones that are all connecting and rising from and coming out of and sitting in the pelvic bowl. All the spaces are softening. Everything's becoming more easeful on the exhale. So inhale, your lower belly expands into the ground. Slight press of the pubic bone. And then exhale, release. Feel the spreading and the opening. One more breath here, inhaling. And then exhale and releasing. And your arms keep going forward and forward and forward. And you make a pillow with your hands. Allowing the whole of the body to release down into the ground. Completely effortless. Very slowly, roll onto the back. Getting anything on that you would like to put on. Just come down into your Shavasana, your deep rest. So I vote for blankets, props, all the things, anything to make you snuggly and make you feel more, well, you probably are at home actually, make you feel more at home. I'm not at home, as you can, well, you wouldn't know, but I'm not at home. I'm in a studio where I teach. Okay. So your legs, if you're going for traditional Shavasana, your legs are wide. They can even be like wider than your mat. Your arms can be wide, the palms facing up. Or if you prefer, your hands can be placed on the body, nice and softly. Bring your attention to the back of the head. And the weight of the brain, the organ of the brain. Dropping back and down. And the eyes soft and round. Falling at the back of the head. And the space between the eyebrows wide. And perhaps just imagining the breath being breathed through the centre of the eyebrows. Although it's impossible, just perhaps imagine the next 5 breaths. Inhaling through the eyebrow centre. Exhaling. Inhaling. And exhaling. Allowing the lower jaw to descend away from the upper jaw. The tongue to rest in your mouth. Taking a breath into the centre of your chest, feeling it rise. And on the exhale, feeling it soft, feeling your shoulders spread. And release a bit more generously towards the ground. Let's take a big inhale together, expand the whole of the body. And a sigh out of the mouth on the exhale. Enjoy your Shavasana. We'll share the next 2 minutes in silence. My voice will bring you round. Feeling the breath expand your body. Perhaps your skin's feeling quite porous. And you feel like you're breathing in through the skin. Bring a little bit of movement to your fingers and your toes. When you feel ready, come and lay on one side in the fetal position, using your arm as a pillow. Ready to support you tonight. Pull your weight into that hand to bring your body up to a seat so that we can close the practice together. Take a seat with your gaze soft or your eyes closed. Your hands be placed wherever you would like to place them. On your lap, on your body in prayer. Take an inhale, and on the exhale, bow your head to your heart. May we always feel welcome and always know that we can always begin again. May our practices ripple out and bless our communities, the people we love, and further out into the whole world. The light in me bows to the light in you. Namaste. Thank you for coming to practice.